Get ready to explore the Norwegian Prima with us from top to bottom. Are the rumors true? Is the buffet too small? How about the pool? We'll address all that and more coming up on Laurie and Gary Cruise.
Come and cruise with us. Come and cruise with us. Come and cruise with us, and you won't regret it.
All right, we're not exactly starting at the very top of the ship today. We are on deck 18, right near the Speedway entrance. We're starting here in order for this to make some sort of linear sense for you all today. And what's funny is I'm filming this ship tour towards the end of our cruise, and I knew the Speedway was up here, but I didn't realize there was so much other stuff to do. So for starters, we're walking up to deck 19. This is just an area where you can get a better view of the Speedway, or where apparently you exit after you've done the Speedway, as you can see the exit signs. So if you didn't know, the Speedway is an extra charge. It is $15 per person for a 4-minute ride, which I personally think is highway robbery. Yet Gary and I paid the money and attempted to do this for you just so you, the viewers, could see, and we didn't end up doing it. Why? Well, I'll talk about it in a future episode, but I discovered that I am extremely claustrophobic and had to exit our car immediately. If you are claustrophobic, this Speedway is not for you. And right around the corner / under the Speedway is miniature golf. It looks pretty awesome, you guys. Again, didn't realize any of this was here till towards the end of our cruise. And we were gonna try and play a game of it on the way back, but we ended up having sort of crummy weather and never got around to it. But definitely check out the miniature golf course on your cruise because it's super cute. And as we're making our way through the golf course, if you haven't seen any of our other videos in our Norwegian Prima series yet, I just want to let you know that the land in the background is Bermuda. This was an early April cruise, and Gary and I were aware of this previously, but Bermuda doesn't get hot until June. We actually did end up with 2 days in the low 70s, which was great. But we chose this cruise fully aware that it could be chilly and cold every day. And if you decide to cruise Norwegian Prima in April, just know you might not have the best weather. For us, we've been to Bermuda so many times. We were taking this cruise literally just to enjoy the ship. We did get off, and we do have a Bermuda video coming at you. But for us, this was a cruise for the cruise. So the miniature golf course is called Tea Time, and then now we're heading into an area of the ship called the Bullseye. And this looks like it's so much fun and cool. There's couches, there's little dartboards. I'm really sorry to have missed using these features on the ship. And you know, you guys, there is just so much to do on these ships nowadays. A week simply isn't enough. All right, we're getting ready to circle back around to where we started from at the Speedway. There's also a bar somewhere back here. I don't think we got that on camera. And all of this was located towards the back of the ship, and we have now teleported ourselves to the other side of deck 18, which is more towards the front of the ship. In front of us is the kids' aqua park, and then you have a large sun deck area up here. And I would definitely take note of this because there are not enough sun loungers by the main pool. We just passed the entrance to the Wave, which is Norwegian Prima's tidal water slide. And then loads of nice, comfy couches, chairs, sun loungers to hang out at. Before we head downstairs, let's take a look upstairs to see what the Wave entrance looks like. So when you get to the top of the stairs, you'll see it's mostly the entrance to the Wave, but there are also some more sneaky sun loungers across the way. I'm only mentioning all of these hidden chairs because when we do get by the main pool, you will see how lacking it is. Now for this cruise, it didn't matter as much, as I would say it was 70% of the time too cold to really lay out in the sun. But if you're cruising in the summer, you may want to scope these out. This is also a great place to watch sailaways from. I can't help myself. I have to go check out Bermuda right now. Have you guys ever been to Bermuda before? Please let us know in the comments below. This is where our honeymoon cruise went to back in 2016. Can you believe it? We've been married for 9 years almost. Actually, I'm posting this May 7th, which is our anniversary. It's our 9-year anniversary, you guys. If you want to give us a good anniversary present, you could hit the like and subscribe button with the notification bell on. Already subscribed to us? Then leave us a comment. Engagement and followers help out the channel so much. All right, enough chit chat. We are on deck 17. We passed the Galaxy Pavilion on our way into the observation lounge. The observation lounge wraps around the entire front of the ship, like a horseshoe. Now, if you've ever been to the observation lounge on a ship like the Norwegian Joy, this one is a little smaller, so it did get quite a bit more hectic. Right now, since we are at port, it's fairly chill, but on a sea day, watch out. Get there early, scope a seat out. This observation lounge is also a great place to grab breakfast, a light lunch, or a snack. All the eateries on the ship could get a little cray-cray, and I found that the observation lounge snack area was just the easiest place to grab and go. Also, being here reminds me, let's talk about the Wi-Fi. It was pretty good. Not the best ever. There were 1 or 2 evenings when I was trying to watch a video and it kept buffering, but otherwise I was able to access the internet fairly easily. Gary and I both got unlimited, and I was really happy that for the most part it worked really well. Last time we cruised Norwegian almost 3 years ago on the Joy, it was just not working. They gave us a full refund almost because it was like impossible to log in. It took 20-30 minutes, and forget streaming. So I bring up the Wi-Fi because this could be a nice place to come and get some computer work done, but parents, a lot of parents brought their screaming children in here. I don't know what you're doing. This is not a place for a child. Sorry, I had to mention it. Also, I don't know if you saw, but we did pass a bar, but unlike the observation lounge on Norwegian Joy, there's no Starbucks up here, but there are still 2 Starbucks on the ship, so don't worry. So we're coming out of the other side of the observation lounge, and now we're gonna get into the pool. And listen, you guys, we heard before this cruise that the pool was too small, that the pool was the worst thing about the ship. And we both thought, it's probably not that bad. Why are people being so dramatic? And I'm here to tell you, it's horrible. It's awful. It's an abomination. It is by far the worst thing about this ship, and it makes me really sad. I think the problem is not so much that the pool is tiny, because there are other smaller infinity pools on deck 8. I think the problem is that the second tier above the pool is usually just more sun loungers. So even if you have no plans on going in the pool, there's still a common place to hang out around the pool. You can be directly by the pool if you love the pool. You can be on the second level if you just want to get some sun. But on the Prima, you have those speedway tracks overlooking the pool, and it's just kind of this dark, dreary vibe. I think the pool Lido deck on a ship is what brings everyone together. It's like the common ground. It's like the epitome of cruising, and they really botched it. Have you cruised the Prima? What do you guys think? Definitely let me know in the comments below. We've entered Palomar, which is a Mediterranean seafood restaurant at night. Right now, a couple of people appear to be using it as an extension of the buffet. And then on the other side of Palomar, you have Food Republic. We didn't get to either of these specialty restaurants on this cruise. We have been to Food Republic before. It is very good. It does have more of a casual vibe though, which is why we didn't select it. When we pay for specialty dining, we like to have a place to dress up fancy to go to. All right, we just exited the way we came and we're walking back across the pool area, passing Waves Bar, and we're gonna make our way into the buffet. The buffet on the Prima is called the Surfside Cafe, and you pass this little outdoor area first, and then we'll get into the buffet. And boy, oh boy, do I have a lot to say. So listen, if you've been following us, you know Gary and I aren't the biggest buffet people. But on the Prima, I feel like you kind of have to go there unless you want to like really wait a long time to eat lunch. Every time we tried to go to the local or the main dining room for lunch, there was a really long wait. Granted, we were trying to go at prime times, but that's when we like to eat lunch. Now, a lot of people have said the buffet on this ship is small, but it's not a big deal because there's so many other places to eat. But the other places that there are to eat don't have that much seating. So I did feel like the buffet was too small. The buffet was essentially just one little strip up part of the ship, and it was usually pretty mobbed. I'm not here during peak hours. I will say the food they had on offer was limited but very tasty. And in the back, this is the grill area where you can get hot dogs, burgers, fries. And just past the Surfside Grill is the Vibe Beach Club, which is an extra fee, but you do get access to more hot tubs and sun loungers there. And that completes deck 17 for us. Let's go down to deck 16 and check out the spa area, the gym, and all of that jazz. The back of deck 16 is dedicated to the Haven. We're more towards the front of deck 16 and entering the Mandara Spa and salon. It's a salon too. Now you have to enter through the spa to get to the fitness center. And the spa is 2 levels. We are on deck 16. The thermal spa area is on deck 15. We'll check that out in a little bit. To get to the fitness center, it's a little confusing. You do have to go down this long hallway. To the left of it is an overview of the thermal spa. To the right are all the rooms that the salon is in. The fitness center on the Norwegian Prima is called Pulse. And you guys know I'm very critical of the fitness centers. I'm a workout girly, so let's talk about it. I want to say Pulse is too modern for its own good. Does that make any sense to you guys? Let me know in the comments below. Basically, it had some extra fancy amenities that were nice, but when it comes down to it, that's not really helpful in my workout. I would like some more equipment and some more space. If you're someone who just uses a cruise gym for the cardio equipment, you're good to go. They had loads of treadmills, bikes, rowing machines. They had the works in cardio. If you're someone like me who likes to lift weights or do their own body weight exercises, there wasn't that much space to do it. The actual rooms in which the fitness classes were taught in were not really open to the public. If they were, they didn't make it feel that way. They didn't have that many weightlifting machines or that much equipment. So overall, nice, modern, clean, updated gym with great ocean views, but not really the best for my own personal, unique workout needs and purposes. Also, I didn't like their fitness class offerings or times. And I'm not always this negative, you guys. I said the Symphony of the Seas gym on Royal Caribbean was the best fitness center ever. If they can do it, Norwegian can do it too. All right, we're gonna magically make our way down to the thermal spa. And our thermal spa footage is slightly disjointed simply because we didn't want to film when there were a lot of people there. So we just kind of snuck out our cameras whenever no one was around. We'll start in the back of the thermal spa first, which is really towards the front of the ship. So between the hot tubs and the steam rooms and salt rock room, there's this long hallway and it leads out into this amazing seating area. So here you have all different kinds of lounges. You have these big comfy couches. You have warming chairs that heat up as you sit on them. And there is literally ample seating. We were here all different hours of the day, never had a problem getting a chair. So it is an extra charge to use the spa. For a week-long cruise, we ended up paying about $678. I'm not sure of the exact price. I did say it in an earlier video, so you can definitely go back to our first video from this Norwegian Prima cruise and I will tell you how much it costs. But you get it. It's $3 something per person plus gratuity. And when we originally mentioned this, some of our viewers commented on how obscene that was. But knowing that this was a majority cold weather cruise, plus seeing that awful little pool, we do not regret spending a single penny on this. This thermal spa made our cruise. We're walking into the hot tub area now, and here there was more hot seats and there was 2 hot tubs. One was more of a lukewarm and the big one was super hot. And even though there were only 2 hot tubs, they were really large. There was always loads of room in them. And also that waterfall wall on the side was really calm and relaxing. Also, side note, the spa was also adults only. And you know what, you guys? We are not always the biggest thermal spa fans. On Celebrity Infinity, we asked for a refund. We disliked it so much. MSC, it came with our yacht club stay. But Norwegian just knows how to do spas. We've done them on the Gem, the Breakaway, the Escape. We've never not been satisfied. So this is the hallway with all the little rooms. You have the ice room. To the left, you have the salt room. To the right is infrared sauna. Next up on both sides, you have experiential showers. Just past that, you have a Finnish sauna on the right. And then a charcoal sauna to the left. And then at the end there, you have a steam room. And none of these rooms ever got too crowded. They were all quite large. And that basically concludes the thermal spa. What do you guys think? Would you pay the extra money for it? Please let us know in the comments below. Quick stop on deck 15 to check out Norwegian Prima's Splash Academy. It's the complimentary kids club on board the cruise ship for children aged 3 to 12. And from here, we'll go all the way down to 6 and then work our way back up to 8. Aren't the elevators neat? We are exiting out of the elevator towards the front of the ship. We're near the main entrance of the bottom floor of the Prima Theater. And of course, this turns into a club at night, which Gary and I, we're we're not the clubbing types. But by night, the Prima Theater is a theater, and by later night, the theater turns into a dance club. Next up is the bottom level of the atrium. This is the Penrose Atrium. At least that's what it says on the ship's deck plans. On this level, you have the Penrose Bar, some seating because there are a lot of activities on this floor in the center. And if it doesn't appear to be enough seating, don't worry, they take out folding chairs. Which, I don't know, you guys. I feel like folding chairs cheapens the look. I wish they just had enough comfortable seating to begin with so you didn't have to pull out extra chairs. But at least there are enough seats for everyone. Across the way here, you have some shops. This is a Swarovski shop. I believe this little desk right here is the box office desk. And then you have another shop to the left right here. Beauty by Design. And you got your cruise next desks. Now, I'm sorry, I have a bone to pick with this. So here you come to make a huge investment in your next cruise, spending thousands of dollars, and you can't even hear the person you're trying to talk to, and you have to stand for an extended amount of time. Gary and I got our next cruise during this cruise, which, by the way, it's going to be in January 2026 on the Breakaway. And after many minutes of just not being able to hear or understand the person we were talking to, we were finally brought in to a back office, but I don't really think guests are supposed to be there normally. And I just think having your cruise next desk there out in the open, in the hub of the entire ship with no seating, is just a big mistake. Design flaw, design flaw. Walking through the casino, you know, Gary and I aren't gamblers. We don't really do the casinos. This casino does feel, though, a little corporate, a little cold. As far as its offerings, I couldn't tell you if it has better gaming than other ships or not. But have you ever cruised Norwegian Prima? Do you gamble? Write it in the comments below. Let our other viewers know. I just realized I haven't shared any information or stats about the ship yet. So while we're making our way through the casino, I figured now's a great time. The Norwegian Prima cruise ship has a passenger capacity of 3,099 and a crew of 1,506. It has a gross tonnage of 143,535. It is 965 feet long and has 20 decks. The ship entered service in 2022 and is part of the Norwegian Prima class. And we're just about through. The casino drops you off into the Belvedere Bar. Belvedere Bar is a contemporary bar and cocktail lounge offering a range of crafted bottled cocktails. This is another place Gary and I didn't really get to on this cruise, but it did look super chill, calm, and quiet. So if you're more easygoing like us and don't like it when things get too hectic, you might want to check it out. And then just past the Belvedere Bar, you do have Cagney's, which is the specialty steakhouse with Norwegian. We did not go to Cagney's on this cruise, but we have been there many times before. We've had excellent experiences there and not so excellent experiences there. I think it varies ship to ship. And then we have the Commodore room, which is one of the two main dining rooms on Norwegian Prima. The Commodore room is very nice, but we did prefer Hudson's overall simply because they had floor-to-ceiling windows. Commodore room was more of a darker, more smoky vibe, even though there was no smoke in there. It just felt smoky. And that is deck 6. What do you say we move on up to deck 7 and check it out? We walked up the closest stairwell, and now we're in the middle, more towards the back of the ship at Le Bistro. Normally, Le Bistro is our fave Norwegian restaurant. We did eat here on this cruise. Definitely check out our previous video if you haven't seen it yet. It wasn't quite as good as we remembered it, but it's still a good specialty restaurant. And it's definitely beautifully designed on this ship. We made our way to the back of Deck 7 and Hudson's, the main dining room, and our favorite main dining room. So beautiful. Love those chandeliers with the little leaves. Love the big windows. Just love it. And we're turning around and checking out the hallway that was between Le Bistro and Hudson's. And when you first exit, there is the sushi restaurant to the right. It is called Nama Sushi and Sashimi. We did not get to go on this cruise, but we both love sushi. Have you ever been? Is it good? Please let us know in the comments below. Across the way is Hazuki, which is the hibachi style restaurant. Now on other ships, it's teppanyaki. And no, I don't have a teppanyaki menu in front of my face, but I have been there many times and I swear it's exactly the same menu. Maybe the only thing different was the ambiance. But we do eat here in an upcoming video, so definitely hit the subscribe button if you want to see what we thought. And then to the left are the Haven private elevators. Whatever, we don't need no stinking Haven. Side note, if you are unfamiliar, the Haven is the suite area with Norwegian. We had the opportunity to stay there once in 2019 on Norwegian Escape, and it was fabulous. We made a bid on this cruise for the Haven and did not win. This cruise was full, sailing at capacity, but man alive, we would have loved to have stayed there. This area was the Metropolitan. There was a lot of live music there often. And then you have the Humidor Cigar Lounge. And we are back at the Le Bistro area. But instead of going back to where we started, we'll keep on walking and we will make our way down this hallway to the Improv at Sea, which is the comedy club, which we did not go to because we kept hearing stories of how long you had to wait in line to get in to see a show. And directly across from the Improv is Sid Norman's Poorhouse, that also had some shows that we would have liked to have seen, but we heard stories that it would be ram-packed. You had to get there 45 minutes in advance in order to see a show. So we opted out of going there as well. It was kind of a bummer. We absolutely love comedians, but we weren't about to wait in line for 45 minutes just to see one. We're not about giving up our entire evenings. Now listen, we don't mind getting to the main theater a half hour in advance when we have a reservation and know we will get a seat. But the main theater is big and spread out. I just don't want to be ram-packed into a tiny room with a bunch of people and possibly end up having to stand to see a show. It's just not our jam. Tiniest Park West art gallery to date. And then here's some more shopping areas. And what we disliked about this is that when you have the shops open in the hallway, then there's no avoiding salespeople trying to upsell you different products. So we didn't love that. And we know Norwegian did this on purpose. They're trying to reel us in. Well, we're not having any of it, Norwegian. Let me shop in my own time, not when I'm on the way to go to the main dining room or to see a show. Okay, back in the Atrium, next level. Here we have the largest Starbucks at sea. Absolutely love it. So much seating. Then you have guest services, and I like that guest services was on the second level because it wasn't too loud up here. They need to move the cruise next up here, I think. You got an Effie jewelry shop right here. And I don't think I show it, but there is a shore excursion desk up here as well. And then if you keep on walking through the hallway, you come to the second level of the Prima Theater. And since the door was open, I thought, why not? Let's check it out, see what's going on. And oopsie daisy, seems like Burn the Floor is rehearsing. Let's do a 180, turn around, and head on up to deck 8. We're in the home stretch, y'all. I'm actually going to walk up the Atrium steps to get to deck 8. Up here, you have Pandora, Jewelry and Lifestyles, and the Whiskey Bar. And since this is the top level of the Penrose Atrium, I'm going to sum up my feelings here. What does Laurie and Gary, who I am speaking for, what do they think of the Atrium? You guys, it's not my favorite. I personally think it's very corporate in appearance, very bland. But at the same time, I don't necessarily hate it. I think there's a lot of fun activities that go on there. And you know, we love us a Starbucks. Also, the way the stairs were arranged to go from one level to another could be a little confusing. Definitely let us know what you think about the Prima Atrium if you've sailed her before. All right, it is time. We are headed outside to enjoy what we think is the best part of this ship, which is the promenade / ocean walk / La Terraza / it's called a bunch of other things, depending on what part of it you're walking through. But this is essentially a 360 wraparound space of deck 8. Look at me trying to show you the binoculars. All right, we got a long walk ahead of us, and I don't want you guys to miss a thing. So I asked ChatGPT to help me to tell you a little bit about this area. So here goes. The wraparound outdoor area on deck 8 of the Norwegian Prima is called Ocean Boulevard. This expansive 44,000 square foot promenade encircles the entire deck, offering a seamless connection between the ship's interior and the sea. Ocean Boulevard features a variety of amenities, including Infinity Beach, which is 2 infinity pools located on both the port and starboard sides, surrounded by sun loungers and offering bar service. The Ocean Walk, which is glass bridges that provide thrilling views of the ocean beneath your feet. The Concourse, which is an outdoor sculpture garden showcasing art installations by renowned artists, creating a dynamic visual experience as the sun sets. La Terraza, a forward-facing, open-air lounge designed as a tranquil retreat with stunning sea views. And finally, you have dining venues, al fresco seating for restaurants such as Onda by Scarpetta, which is Italian cuisine, Los Lobos, which is Mexican fare, the local bar and grill, which serves classic pub dishes, and the Indulge Food Hall, which offers 11 diverse dining options. Ocean Boulevard is designed to enhance your cruising experience by bringing resort-style amenities closer to the sea, allowing you to enjoy the ocean breeze and panoramic views while dining, relaxing, or exploring the ship's artistic offerings. Okay, you guys, I've reached the Ocean Walk, which I didn't think it would be this creepy, but it is. As I tiptoe my way across it, I'm going to leave some of my own personal comments. We both absolutely love this area. It's gorgeous. It's a great place to go for walks at night after dinner. There's so many different seating options. Now, unfortunately, this cruise was majority cooler weather, although we still had a few times where we got to sit back, relax, and gaze at Bermuda. My biggest complaint would be Infinity Beach or the two infinity pools, because I know that was NCL's excuse in making a smaller main pool. But the problem is they might as well have been called kiddie pools, because every time we walked past them, they were mobbed with children. Now, it would have been nice if one of them had been adults only and one of them had been for anyone. Or really, considering how small the main pool is, I thought maybe there should have been 4 infinity pools on this level. This is also where the dry slide exits, right over here. Anyway, other than the kiddie pool situation, this was just an incredible deck to walk on, lounge on, eat on, all of the above. But look, you can even see little heads. Don't worry, I know you can't show children on the camera, but you can see little heads. Those are all children in that pool. As we walk into the Indulge Hall outdoor seating area, I have a few comments about the Indulge Hall. So Indulge Food Hall is amazing. The food is awesome. It's super unique, but they had such little indoor seating that even when we were in New York City and it was 40 something degrees, there were people sitting outside. And this is one of the reasons I say that the buffet being so small is a problem. Because even though there are a lot of other dining options, you can't always get in there. Again, warm weather cruise, not as big an issue, but cold weather cruise, it's a problem. By the way, let's give a holla to the Norwegian Jewel directly across from us. We will be sailing that ship next April 2026 on La Lita Loca's group cruise. So excited. If you're going on that group cruise, let us know in the comments below. We can't wait to meet you. Also, if you don't follow Tony and Jenny at La Lita Loca on YouTube, what are you doing? Subscribe to them right now. But first, subscribe to us. Look at all these little couches and chairs. I specifically love the swing chairs directly in front of us. So nice. And just to give you an idea of where we are in space and time, we're rocking around the back of the ship. Indulge Food Hall and the local are towards the back of deck 8. And I'm going to skip forward a little bit, coming across the other pool, and you will see more little heads. More little heads. We're still towards the back of the ship here, and we're coming up towards the local entrance on this side. And then I'm going to skip ahead a little bit again so we can get to the sculpture garden. Now, there's just a couple, but they're pretty cool to look at. I've asked ChatGPT to tell me a little bit more about this sculpture garden. So these are a curated collection of large-scale interactive sculptures by renowned artist Alexander Krivashew, known for his dynamic flowing forms. Krivashew's installations are designed to engage guests through both visual appeal and tactile interaction. A distinctive feature of the concourse is its integration of special lighting effects that transform the sculpture's appearance as the sun sets, creating a captivating experience that evolves throughout the day. Oh man, I wish we had known about this lighting at sunset. We would have checked it out, but we didn't. Let's fast forward past the glass walkway and head back on inside. We're entering the top level of the atrium again, and we're gonna walk across and I'll show you in more detail some of the areas we missed before. This is the whiskey bar. Do you guys see what I mean when I say this atrium has a very corporate feel? This bar just doesn't seem like a hangout place where I would meet new people. It seems very cold. And then we have Onda by Scarpetta, a specialty dining restaurant that, once again, we did not get to go to on this cruise. This cruise was just too short, y'all. I know a week is kind of normal, but we've been doing a lot of 10, 11 dayers. A week on these new ships just doesn't do the job. Exiting the restaurant and the atrium, we're gonna walk down another hall. And surprise, surprise, we come across more shops right out in the open. This is the Zone and I style. The ship deck plans say this is called Tech at Sea. And then next up is the photo gallery as well. You know, we were concerned that the photographers would be super aggressive on this cruise, and they really weren't. We saw them a few times in the hallways, but they didn't really come after us. And then there were a few times they asked us if we wanted a photo when we were at the restaurant, and we said no thank you, except when we were at Hazuki, because we always get a teppanyaki photo. Being that Hazuki is essentially the same thing, of course we opted in there. But my point is, we never felt pressured or the feeling of the photographers being overbearing, and we really appreciated that. Through the photo gallery is where the local is. So the local on this ship has two parts. The first part, which we're about to see, is more of the bar area. Now you can order food here as well, I believe, but really it's the bar area, and it would often be super congested and crowded. So I can't imagine wanting to eat here. And then you have to walk through this area or around outside to get to Indulge Food Hall, which is where we are headed right now. Now, you already heard my spiel about how there was not enough seating, but you may have missed our last video in which I tell you the secret to getting an indoor seat. Essentially, it's get there a half hour before it opens. You're totally allowed to walk in at any time and sit wherever you want. They simply don't turn the iPads on until they are officially open. Yes, at Indulge, you order from an iPad and a server brings your order to your table. I'm telling you, sometimes it's within 1 minute. It's like magic. I don't know how they do it. There's also a Starbucks in here, and there's a Coco's where they make specialty desserts. For an extra charge, of course. And with Coco's, it's a little confusing because you don't order from them from the iPad. You go straight up to the kiosk, and it can be a little confusing because sometimes they're working, they don't see you, they don't make eye contact, there's no real sign that says order here. So just a heads up, but it's worth the wait. It's really good desserts. And I'm gonna exit the Indulge Food Hall now and take us to the last two places on this tour. So through this hallway, we exited out the one part of the local, and then to the right we have Los Lobos, which is the Mexican specialty restaurant on this ship, which is really good. Gary and I ate there in our second video. Definitely check it out. And we will end this tour at the local. And listen, you guys, I know I gave a lot of harsh criticism, mainly about the pools, about this ship, but overall, we actually did like it a lot. There were a lot of pluses that outweighed the minuses. Definitely subscribe with the notification bell on so you can see our next few videos out about this cruise, including a complete what we loved and hated about the cruise overall. That's all for now. Until the next time, we want you to live your best cruise life. Bye-bye.